The following is paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network. You're listening to Real Estate Radio Fresno on News Talk 580 KMJ and 105.9 The FM KMJ. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Craig Barton.
Good morning, Central California. I'm your host, Craig Barton, and welcome to, boy, if only they knew what goes on in the studio on a Sunday morning before we actually come on air. Is this thing on?
It's live.
It's live. Yes, it is.
Not Memorex.
Just remember that. Oh, my gosh. Real Estate Radio is a show dedicated to bringing some rational thought to the crazy world that we live in and helping you. Yes, I said you. Rebuild the Central Valley's housing and financial markets. You know, within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted financial advice. And that's exactly what you're going to hear every Sunday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. right here on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ. Thanks so much for joining us. We do try to have fun on Sunday mornings.
We do. We try to have fun all the time. What are you talking about?
That is true.
Especially on Sundays.
We just actually make it somewhat permanent in the airwaves as far as the Sunday morning is concerned.
There you go.
All the way to Mars and back. To the heavens.
I'm not quite sure what to say to that.
Yeah. You know, when I say stuff, it's really important that you guys help to, kind of chime in. This isn't, I don't do just all the heavy lifting. You're supposed to be funny.
Give us something to work with.
Oh. Alrighty, that voice in the studio, that's Mommy Dearest. Or Grandmommy Dearest, I should say. Lisa Casa, Client Care Coordinator.
Good morning.
Valley White Homes.
Good morning.
How are you? 2 weeks in a row. You could make this a regular gig. You really could.
I try really hard not to, but there's this guy.
You try really hard not to. Just so happens you show. That's where your paycheck's delivered. So you show
Absolutely.
up. Absolutely.
If I want to get paid, I come here. No, I love being here. This is my favorite place. This is my favorite time of the week.
Exactly.
Can't think of anywhere I'd rather be.
Nice. Timur O'Hare, our licensed mortgage consultant.
How are you?
He is the money man. Enjoy.
Money.
Yeah.
He's a little precocious this morning. He was whistling on the way here. It was uncomfortable.
Pretty happy boy. And Brent Riffel. Why did I say Wiffle?
I got whiffed.
You got whiffed. Yeah. Brent Riffel, Development Director from Convoy of Hope here in the studio with us Sunday morning. Go to convoyofhope.org. I think that's really important. Beginning of
great things going on.
Yeah, beginning of the show or top of the show. I think it's important that we get that information out there as far as our listeners are concerned. Kind of a little bit of a tease per se, meaning go to the website, see all the great things that Convoy of Hope is doing. You can also go to Vimeo and search Convoy of Hope. And really, if you want your heartstrings tugged on a Sunday morning, go to Vimeo. It is absolutely amazing. Some of the stories that you see. Some of the content with regards to outreaches that they do here nationally, the content that they have on their web on Vimeo with regards to some of the different focuses that Convoy of Hope has with regards to farmers' initiatives, with regards to women's initiatives. It's super, super amazing. We're very, very fortunate to have Brent here in the studio. We're going to talk real quickly this morning about charitable giving, and that's obviously the main focus of what we do discuss when you come on the show. But we're talking this morning about how important it is when you're leaving your legacy. And some of this is my words, so jump in, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
When it comes time for creating or leaving your legacy, have you ever thought of just how important it is that we lead by example? And in teaching our children, how important it is to give in today's society where everyone wants everything yesterday, or at worst, at the very least, right now. How important it is to leave that legacy and imprint on our children the importance of giving. And when it comes time for creating a giving climate, what if your folks, let's say you're a little bit older and you've amassed some real estate or some things, as we typically call it, and you'd really like to leave an even greater mark. Well, it's extremely important that you create that team within your family, that everyone is on the same page. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning, about creating that kind of upwelling and symbiotic relationship between all those folks in your family, and how important it is to give.
And to leave your legacy. the impact that you can make to leave that legacy. Powerful.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be neat to share some stories with you this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for being here. And as always, Johnny B. behind the mics. I didn't forget you, John. The Real Estate Radio Network gives us the opportunity to reach so many people efficiently for 1 full hour each and every week. Our goal at the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate as well as financial markets. We're going to share with you some financial secrets that the big banks on Wall Street don't want you to hear, so we can help bring you back home. On today's show, there are 2 really good omens for the housing market currently, and I think you'll be surprised what those are. And Bank of America to pay a record $16.65 billion, yes, I did say billion-dollar settlement to mortgage claims. That's, we were talking about that.
Chump change.
Yeah, it isn't. It's one of the largest financial settlements. And home is never too far away for first-time homebuyers. We're going to tell you exactly what that translates to. And mortgage rates slipped to near lows in about a year. So interest rates low, extremely important that you pay attention. As we mentioned, we also have Brent Riffel, Development Director for Convoy of Hope, here in the studio to talk with us about creating that team with your family. Part of leaving your legacy is creating that team up front and ensuring that everyone is on page and that you've really gone out of your way to ensure that your kids understand the importance of giving. We're also going to take some listener questions. Make sure you stay with us. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or a topic that, let's say, is really center in your world right at the moment, we want to be a resource. If you have a need, let's say you need a referral to a trusted resource and you really don't know whom to ask. You're looking for an estate planner, or let's say a bankruptcy attorney, or you'd like information regarding a reverse mortgage. Give us a call anytime. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go and listen to us on your smartphone at kmjnow.com. You can also go to our website and check out our resources online. You can also search for your next home. Go to valleywidesells.com. Well, let's take a look at today's hot property. Today's hot property is brought to you by Win Home Inspections. Our friend Bert Welsh will take care of all those residential home inspection needs. You can give Bert a call today at 559-363-4080. Again, that's 559-363-4080. Today's featured hot property is 5649 West Weathermaker Avenue, Fresno, California. Major cross streets of McKinley and Polk. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,705 square foot home with a pool. It is an above-ground pool that does stay with the property. Built in 2002, listed at $205,000.
Nice.
Home's immaculate, features an open floor plan, skylight in the ceiling. Just looking for a lovely family. I actually had this last weekend, I had a request from one of the neighbors that just so happened that I knew. She comes down and says, I thought that was your sign. Comes in, she goes, you better make sure you bring us some nice neighbors with some kids.
Oh, there you go. Sure, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. I will get right on that, and I can make that happen. So
That's important.
This is a call out to a nice, loving family with young children.
To play with Craig's friends' kids.
Exactly. To play with Craig's friends' kids. If you'd like more information about today's hot property, give us a call anytime on our off-air number at 800-979-3958. You can use this number during the show as well as after the show. Again, 800-979-3958, and we'll send you more information about this hot property right to your phone. Well, let's talk about Fresno County inventory staying pretty static at 2,027 active listings. Less than 7% of today's active listings in Fresno County are distressed, which is extremely important to know, which means there are some great signs as far as the housing market's concerned. Well, 2 good omens for the housing market. Well, home construction increased sharply in July, the Commerce Department reported this week, and the government said that housing starts last month were up nearly 16% over June and almost 22% over the 12 months prior. Now, in another positive sign, July applications for building permits as well, which overshadow future plans for construction, were up 8.1% over the previous month. And Bank of America, once again in the news, what boggles my mind, well, let's actually talk about the story real quick. To pay a $6.65 billion, yes, I did again say billion with a B, to settle mortgage claims. Bank of America Corp has agreed to pay $16.65 billion to end federal and state investigations. Isn't that interesting? I guess they were concerned slightly that it could end up being quite worse. Into the sale of toxic mortgage-backed securities during the subprime housing boom, the largest settlement by a single company in U.S. history, the Justice Department reported. Now, the settlement includes $9.65 billion in fines and $7 billion in aid to communities. And homeowners hit hard by the housing market crash that triggered the Great Recession. Very, very interesting. Bank of America had already incurred about $60 billion in losses in legal settlements from the purchases of Countrywide. And that is the most interesting part right there, because as we've seen recently in the news, when this was announced, there was a big question as to Bank of America. Now, let's just refresh this a little bit. Bank of America was forced to purchase Countrywide.
How lucky they were.
Isn't that amazing? There was no way to indemnify themselves. They just said, hey, you are going to purchase this company and all these toxic loans, and you know what? We'll work it out at some point down the road. We'll make sure.
They're working it out.
Yeah, they're working it out all right.
That sounds like Obamacare. Once you buy it, we'll know what's in it.
Yeah, once you buy it, we'll tell you what's in it. And California, I think it's extremely important to note, California will receive $300 million from the settlement to reimburse two of its largest public pensions. Now, granted, these two public pensions have a huge unfunded pension liability. That is the California Public Employees Retirement System. CalPERS, exactly. And the State Teachers Retirement System, CalSTRS. Bank of America profited by misleading investors. Really? About the risky nature of we bought this company, and we know it wasn't very good, and it probably looks even worse. But do you think it really went out and quote unquote, did they profit? They just said $60 billion in losses.
Is there anywhere in there that it states what the consumer is going to get out of it?
Yeah, the settlement makes the pension funds whole and also brings some relief to homeowners that are actually upside down.
So they might be able to have a principal reduction.
Exactly.
Or maybe a rate reduction.
Exactly. As an example, this particular spokesperson said that a woman who owes $250,000 on a mortgage on a home worth only $150,000 would see the loan reduced to about $112,000, so her monthly mortgage payments would be cut dramatically, and her house could be transferred from a liability into an asset with actual equity. So don't really know exactly how it's going to manifest itself in terms of what program or who, where, or
and how many people are going to apply for it.
Where you go to sign up for your check, exactly. It's just very interesting. I think, once again, we see that no charges have been pressed against Andrew Mazzillo, the former owner of Countrywide, or CEO. And did you know that home is never that far away? The majority of renters who plan to purchase a home soon don't expect to move far when they actually do. More than half will stay in the same county, if not the same neighborhood. Well, where will renters move once they do decide to actually purchase a home? 41% say that they will reside in the same county where they currently live. 14% in the same neighborhood as their current residence is. 11%, and here's where it starts to go outside county, 11% in another county in California. 10% said they're moving to Texas because they don't pay state income tax. I'm just kidding. They said another state. They didn't say specifically Texas. And 1% said that they are moving to another country. 23%, not quite sure. They just know that they want to be first-time home buyers. And mortgage rates hit lows in 2014. The average rate for a 30-year fixed-rate loan now stands at 4.1%, according to Fannie Mac. Freddie Mac.
Combined?
Yeah, they did. It's the newest GSE. It's like an upside-down pineapple cake. That matched its lowest level since June of 2013, when it stood at 3.93%. The average 15-year fixed rate was 3.23%. Well, if you're thinking about buying a home, if you're a buyer and you're on the fence as to where to begin the process, we have a free comprehensive resource to help you shop for your next home. Go to Valleywide Sells and start searching for your next home for free. Again, that's Valleywide Sells, and take control of searching for your next home. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions about the information that we share with you on the show today, or if you have a question about refinancing, or how do I go about searching for my next home, or how do I get pre-approved, and what are rates right at the moment, or hey, I'd like to purchase a home with a reverse mortgage, it all starts with one call. Give us a call, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go and listen to us on your smartphone at kmjnow.com. Again, check out our resources online. You can listen to past shows from the Real Estate Radio Network by going to valleywidesells.com. Well, coming up after the break, as we mentioned, we're very fortunate to have Brent Riffel, Major Donations Relations Director of Convoy of Hope, to share some important things about how to leave your legacy, not just leaving your legacy, but how to ensure that your legacy continues to give by that imprint on your children. Make sure you stay with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate. Here on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer, at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
Rick Ransom, a local guy, began his career in mortgage lending in 1989. In 91, he became one of the first reverse mortgage lenders in California. Since that time, he's helped hundreds of seniors with reverse mortgages and other senior-related issues. And he's one of the few in this business who is a CPA.
This is Rick Ransom. Much of what you hear on TV and radio is not altogether true. There is misinformation. A reverse mortgage can help you supplement your retirement, pay off your existing mortgage or credit cards, even purchase a new home. If you're ready for a free face-to-face meeting with someone with 45 years experience in the application process, call me at 221-5355. That's 221-5355. I look forward to meeting with you.
DRE number 513201, NMLS number 240770.
When it comes to investing in wealth management, you can find good counsel from someone at a local office for a Wall Street firm. And if you do well, a main office in New York does well. However, we at Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group offer a very different choice. Our associates offer Wall Street experience from an independent, local company. We answer to you, not New York. Thies & Duker's owners, associates, and staff members live right here. We're your neighbors.
I'm Tom Morgan, a financial consultant with Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group. I recently joined Thies & Duker because I wanted to serve my clients in an independent firm that truly values clients, families, and this community. If that's what you're looking for too, give me a call at 448-8190.
Feel right at home at Thies & Duker. Visit us online at thiesandduker.com. ThiesendUker.com.
The consultants at Thies & Duker are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
All it takes is one call to the professionals at Valleywide Homes, and you'll start building wealth in real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing property, let Craig and his team at Valleywide help. There's never been a better time to get into the real estate market. Start the search for your next home by visiting our website at valleywidesells.com or call toll-free 800-979-3958. That's 800-979-3958, and put the seasoned professionals at Valleywide Homes to work for you.
You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, as we mentioned, we're very fortunate this Sunday morning to have Development Director from Convoy of Hope, Brent Riffel, here in the studio. As always, great to have you, buddy.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Go to convoyofhope.org if you'd like to see more. Go to Vimeo and search Convoy of Hope. I love plugging that because Convoy of Hope is, especially on Vimeo, you're really, really able to put I don't know. It's a huge mark on your heart. You've got to be darn near close to dead to not that it doesn't touch you by watching all the videos on.
Yeah, some of what's going on. And a lot of those are different organizations and people that have posted their videos. Some of those actually are Convoy. You know, you'll see the logo and some of the Convoy of Hope videos and what we're doing around the world. It's significant, powerful stuff.
So Convoy of Hope has a huge impact nationally, internationally, and it all starts with giving. When we talk about giving, much of our lives can be very self-centered in terms of focusing on us and our family. But as you get a little on in years, and you begin focusing on your maybe ability to give back and really make that imprint as far as your legacy is concerned, you have to make sure that you don't forget your children in the process.
Yeah, I look at our own family. How do we mobilize our families to do something that's more outward than it's inward? You know, and together, whether it be with young kids or whether it be, you know, with your adult children, that's a big deal. And we're seeing a lot of families that are either struggling because they can't do something like that and they really want to, and they're driven that direction, or there's families that are actually doing it, and that is exciting.
You gave some examples during the break. Read that, the example that you gave me when you were talking about.
Yeah, I was just thinking, for those of you listeners that are challenged with some of that and encouraged by that, you know, when I see families that have the capacity to give, and we all have the capacity to give in some fashion, some way or another. It may be $100 a year, it may be, you know, $5 million a year, but whatever that is. I was just thinking about vacations are really inward focused. Our businesses that we're running, the things that we're doing in our businesses are really task driven, which is more inward focused. It's providing for our families, it's providing for our future, it's providing for us and what we want to try to do, or it's providing for the vacations and everything else. For some of you that this morning you're heading to church and you're going that direction, and that's where I'll be heading soon. But heading to church is an inward and it's an upward focused, God focused kind of perspective. But what are we doing as a family, uniting together, that is an outward focused mission? What is that? What are we doing that we can give from and make an outward expression of who we are as people, as a family, to make a bigger difference in the world and make our mark in the world as a family? I mean, that's a legacy. That's a lot of fun.
Starting with that imprint, as far as children are concerned, children are very accustomed to receiving. And then let's take it quite a few years down the road. Adult children may still be accustomed to receiving. It's not always there is no such thing as, quote-unquote, a perfect world. So it's not always the outcome that we would hope when we talk about giving. And let's say we're, again, on in years, and we have some things, some stuff that we would like to help imprint and leave our legacy. But having your kids on the same page, that's an extremely huge part of it, because how do we teach them how to give as well, while at the same time accomplish our charitable giving desires?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think of a family that the mom and dad were all about giving, and they were doing all kinds of different things in their giving. Yet, when I asked the question, well, what are your kids giving to? Oh, well, they're not. Well, are they on the same page as you? Well, not really. Would you want them to be? And the answer was definitely yes. At that point, they were like, we would want them to be on the same page with us and doing some of the things, the great things that we're doing, because we as a couple are doing great things. But to have our kids involved, I've never even thought about that, was his comment to me. I've never thought about that. I says, what if we were able to bring you all into the room and you were saying, hey, I'm giving away $20,000 or $30,000 a year. What if everyone was to come into the room together and make the decision on where they wanted to give together? getting them involved and seeing where the money is going, seeing where the investment is made, but seeing the impact of what they're doing together, man, the dad just goes, that's incredible. I can't wait to be able to do that. That'll be fantastic, and so those opportunities and those families being able to come together after maybe years of just struggling, but they may have not been able to go on vacation together, but at the same time they're sitting going, wow, what if we were to get everybody in the room together? I just had that happen recently, which was really super exciting, and I'll share that a little later.
Nice. So Families United as one. It really is incumbent upon us as parents to make sure that if you do have charitable goals as far as giving is concerned, and you have charitable goals, whether it be in one or you're looking for other areas to give, ensuring that your kids understand that it's important to not just take or receive is extremely, extremely important. Creating that team, you grew up playing team sports as a child. How important is it to create that team atmosphere when it comes time for giving?
Yeah, well, it's a powerful opportunity to be able to sit around the table and to be able to dive into that. What is it that we want to give to? I was doing that with my kids one day. I walked in, the Philippines had a typhoon that hit, and I walked around the house and I started engaging with my kids. I said, hey, you guys, there's a typhoon that's hitting right now. A convoy is already en route. We're heading there. What do you think about coming together and giving this morning and doing something significant for the people there, where 30 cents will provide a meal, so they said, absolutely, let's do it. And so I walked into my young daughter's room, and she's 8, and I said, would you want to give to this? And she says, yeah. She goes, I'll give. And so she gave $1, and she was excited about giving her $1. And so walked she goes, well, let's go ask the other sisters to give too. So walked into the other room and woke up the other sister and said, hey, would you be willing to give? She gave $1. Oh, well, I'll give $5. And it challenged us all to, at the end of the day, we made for us just one morning. It was a $50 gift that we made together, just as a family, to provide 30-cent meals to people in the Philippines, and we were able to make that gift, and it was through a restaurant in town, a Filipino restaurant in town, that they were doing a fundraiser that morning, right. And we gave through them, which was just a lot of fun, and all that money was going to Convoy of Hope, and over $5,000 came in that day to help those dealing with that typhoon in the Philippines. So uniting together, and that was exciting for us as a family that day. Hey, we made a $50 gift this morning where we would never have thought about that, but we did that day, and that's just one example of many where we're starting to keep track of what we give to and what we give to as a family, and with the kind of impact we've made as a family, and we've capitalized on a lot of friends and just a lot of people coming together to say, hey, let's give together. And as a family, it's been fun because we don't have that high of capacity to give, but at the same time, together with all their friends and other people around this community, our family has been able to make close to $100,000 impact just in the last 3 years because of our kids uniting other people together to do something significant within this community and outside this community and around the world.
It really is all about leverage.
It's leveraging. It's getting people involved in a movement of compassion. That's really what it is.
Right.
So that's a lot of fun.
So let's say a family, or as you mentioned, the patriarch of a family sitting and listening to the show this morning, and has dabbled with or toyed with the idea about giving. Mm-hmm. Give some helpful hints to our listeners about where to start.
I think it's coming down and really thinking about what is your heart tugging you to do? What kind of impact do you want to make? I challenged someone with that recently. I said, don't send me a check, because she wanted to send me a check. And I said, don't send me a check until you tell me where your heart's at and where your passions are and where you want to give. And so she shared a few ideas and said, this is kind of what I'm thinking. And I said, I just want to challenge your heart, So within a few weeks, 3 weeks goes by, and she goes, I really want to help people that have gone through abusive situations in the past. I want to help those people, and I think I want to help women in maybe the Central America area because those women go through a lot of tough situations. I want to be able to do something with them. So not too long later, I have a pretty large check come in, knowing that it wasn't just about her money, but that envelope came, and I knew her heart was in that envelope too, and she was excited to be a part of it. And so, that's happening a lot, but it's challenging people where their heart's at, and so figuring out from you where your heart's at, what you want to give to, what you want to be a part of, and then start doing your research. Looking at charitynavigator.org. Charitynavigator.org is a website where you can go and search for a nonprofit that may come to mind, or search an area of what you want to try to give to, and look at the top organizations, those organizations that are stellar out there in the world that are doing great things, and much of your dollar is going to the actual program, to actually making a difference. And then coming from that and figuring out what those nonprofits are that you want to give to, and then uniting people around you to give, and that would be your family. Bring your family together. Sit them at the table and have that conversation. Hey, I'm looking at giving to this and this and this. Would you want to be a part of this too? And or there may be an organization that you'd want to give to, and what could we do if we all came together and gave to 4 or 5 different organizations, and each of them was from us? That's significant, and you're seeing kids, adult kids to grandkids, coming to the table and saying, "Wow, this is going to be awesome. Let's do something big." And then you need to really make sure you present those results of this is what your dollar went to, and this is the impact that it made.
Measurable's important.
Measurable's a big deal.
So tug on the heart first, and then make sure that it can be measured. That is right. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, again, if you have any real estate or mortgage related questions, or let's say it's a question that's specific to Brent and our conversation this morning, give us a call. It all starts with one phone call. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Take us with you wherever you go and listen to all KMJ programming right now at kmjnow.com. You can also go to our website and search for your next home at valleywidesells.com. Well, after the break, when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Brent Riffel, and we're going to talk about, we've had that conversation. We know where we want to give, but now once we've gathered the family around, how do we really navigate that conversation? Make sure you stay with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate here on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer, at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989, or use press 4 keywords Arise Solar.
Rick Ransom, a local guy, began his career in mortgage lending in 1989. In 91, he became one of the first reverse mortgage lenders in California. Since that time, he's helped hundreds of seniors with reverse mortgages and other senior-related issues. And he's one of the few in this business who is a CPA.
This is Rick Ransom. Much of what you hear on TV and radio is not altogether true. There is misinformation. A reverse mortgage can help you supplement your retirement, pay off your existing mortgage or credit cards, even purchase a new home. If you're ready for a free face-to-face meeting with someone with 45 years experience in the application process, call me at 221-5355. That's 221-5355. I look forward to meeting with you.
DRE number 513201, NMLS number 240770.
When it comes to investing in wealth management, you can find good counsel from someone at a local office for a Wall Street firm. And if you do well, a main office in New York does well. However, we at Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group offer a very different choice. Our associates offer Wall Street experience from an independent, local company. We answer to you, not New York. Thies & Duker's owners, associates, and staff members live right here. We're your neighbors.
I'm Tom Morgan, a financial consultant with Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group. I recently joined Thies & Duker because I wanted to serve my clients in an independent firm that truly values clients, families, and this community. If that's what you're looking for too, give me a call at 448-8190.
Feel right at home at Thies & Duker. Visit us online at thiesandduker.com. ThiesendUker.com.
The consultants at Thies & Duker are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
All it takes is one call to the professionals at Valleywide Homes, and you'll start building wealth in real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing property, let Craig and his team at Valleywide help. There's never been a better time to get into the real estate market. Start the search for your next home by visiting our website at valleywidesells.com or call toll-free 800-979-3958. That's 800-979-3958, and put the seasoned professionals at Valleywide Homes to work for you.
You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, as we mentioned, we're very fortunate to have Brent Riffel, the development director with Convoy of Hope here in the studio. Wow, I am just messing this up all the way around, buddy.
It's all good.
It's all good. So we're here to talk about giving, and give our listeners really some examples of folks that are, or families that are having those conversations today, and really what that looks like in terms of talking about giving.
Yeah, I'm working with some people right now that are giving land, and they're the way that things are set up and the way the trust is set up. We're working with a couple different elements when it comes to that, but it's multiple pieces of property, and so Craig and I have been talking about some of that, of what we can do. How, we got to get it on the market. I don't do any of that. I just have a lot of resources and a lot of people that can get all this stuff done that I need to get done, whether it be trusts or estate planning, working with financial advisors to make that happen, or CPAs and tax attorneys, and Craig is a part of that. And
it can be a reality to when we say to give clunky or cumbersome gifts. Someone might really say, well, maybe I don't necessarily have a bunch of have liquid cash that I can give. Right. There might be other assets that I have, whether it's stock, whether corporate stock, whether it's real estate.
Yeah.
Or just a piece of bare land. It's a lot that I've been sitting on for years. It really, my CPA's depreciated it as much as he or she could. And, we're at that point in time where it's time to stop being a landlord, or stop having to disc that.
Or perhaps they don't have the resources to improve upon it, but someone else could.
And that does happen quite often. It really does, where you're cash poor but real estate rich from the standpoint. Talking to a client just recently, and she has a parcel. It's roughly an acre, just under an acre parcel, and it's got two really rundown buildings on it, but she doesn't have the means to really keep it up anymore. So it's time. It really is time. Yeah.
It's time to gift it, or it's time to sell it and use the assets internally, or some of those pieces of property. There's some legacy sentimental value to that from the grandparents, and I don't have the ability to maintain this, but it was given to us from grandpa. Right, what do we do with that? How do we, sell it and use the money to do something significant with. So when I say that, give it to an organization that can use it, and it may be something specific that you wanted it used for, not too specific because nonprofits don't like that either, but but do something specific that it would make a legacy difference within the grandkids in the future. They go, Grandpa did this, and we had this home, and we sold it, and we gave it to whatever, to feed 20,000 kids, and we gave them an education for 20 years, or whatever it is. It's making a difference with that gift, and you can pass on that legacy that way, which is a really sweet opportunity as a family to keep the legacy intact. It's just in a different way, because we don't want to lose that sentimental value. We want to be able to pass that value down and say, hey, we built a warehouse in a country that is providing kids with food every single day, and it's making a significant difference in the world. Those kind of things that we can do. So that's
oftentimes I shouldn't say oftentimes, but sometimes sitting down and having that conversation with a family, it can go awry. It cannot be a positive experience, because whether they're younger children, whether they're of age, or whether they are adult, sometimes focusing outward in terms of what we are wanting to try to do doesn't go over well, and that's just the reality of human nature.
Human nature. It's how we're wired. Some of us are wired, to not be a part of that. I don't want to do that. Well, I believe we all are wired to give. We're supposed to give our time, our talents, our treasure, our love, our care for those around us. We're all wired to give in some way. So, how do we direct that giving to make a difference? And so, even in looking at that and looking at some of the families, there's tension in families. There's kids that may not be a part of that family, and it may take a little bit. That's what I love to do. Is I love to be able to bring those touchy, tough situations and have the conversation with a kid prior to to the adult son, prior to the meeting, prior to even having it on the calendar. Let me go to lunch with your son. Let me just have a conversation with him and see if we can open up the door to be able to have that conversation of what if we were to do something together as a family to make a big difference in the world.
Have you ever seen Have you ever seen a story like that where, let's say that there's been someone that from the family, son, daughter, what have you, that's been somewhat estranged, and just for the simple fact that they're having the conversation where you originally thought this is going to be difficult, but it ended up repairing some of the damage that had been done over the years.
I think a family that I just met with recently was in that boat, and they had some divorces going on, and there were some different things happening with their adult kids, and people didn't respect spouses, and it was a crazy situation. A lot of dynamics in that family, which I just recently learned. Yet at the same time, that family, for the first time, was able to come together over the last few days, and they came together. We met at their home, and I was thinking that we were meeting with a son and the father, and it wasn't the son and the father. It was a couple of the sisters, and it was their spouses, and I didn't know they were all coming to the table. I didn't know they were coming to that meeting.
Some of the joys of
I loved it. I was so excited when I heard that, because I know how I love diving into that world. That's a lot of fun for me. So having them come to the table they said, which I didn't know this, the dad says, hey, this is the first time we've ever come to the table together with spouses in the room, and they give multi-millions away every year. And this was the first real time and it's been coming that now we're giving multi-millions away every year.
But doesn't that it really boggles my mind if this is the first opportunity that you really have had to be able to come together to talk collectively in terms of what is really, as you had mentioned, what is really tugging on my heartstring.
Yeah.
And
they shared dynamics in the room. They shared some of the things that they're passionate about, some more than others. But they had one clear focus, and that was make a difference in the lives of people. And they were all about it. And there were some things that we revealed there that a lot of them didn't even know. That was like, wow, you mean we can do that? We can give to this? We didn't know we could give to that. We thought there was restrictions on some of how we were going to give. And some of those things came to light in that meeting. And what a great opportunity it was for me, the great opportunity for me to be able to have that moment in time where I had the ability to be at that table and helping ask those questions and bring out what people were thinking and where they wanted to make a difference at, and what communities and what areas and what nonprofits, and there was a lot of challenge that was taking place there. And maybe we need to question that nonprofit is not quite doing what it needs to be doing. We're going to pull back. We want to do something with someone else that has this capacity, or they want to do this. And it may be integrity issues within an organization. It may be that they're not a highly rated organization at a Charity Navigator, or that they're, they had some connections and relationships and they learned of what was capable, and they were able to deliver that $50,000 or $100,000 check to that organization to make a significant difference. That was powerful.
You talk about Charity Navigator. Talk real quick with regards to Convoy of Hope and just exactly how efficient a mechanism Convoy of Hope is, and how many years in the running they've been.
We've really been around for 20 years. We just this last year received a letter from Charity Navigator, who rates organizations all across the country on effectiveness, transparency, efficiency, where your bottom line number goes, and some of those different areas. And so over the past 11 years, we have, they've, I think, been rating organizations for 13 or 14 years, something like that. But for the last 11 years, we've been a 4-star top-tier charity for those 11 years, which they told us equates to less than 1% of all charities across the country that have that kind of rating. And that was one reason, that was one of my number one questions when I went over and was being invited to their table, was, how efficient and effective are you, and what are your ratings when it comes to Charity Navigator, and how serious are you about maintaining those ratings?
Right.
Because I don't want to see it drop a star or 2 stars in the next 2 years. I want to know that you're all about maintaining that, and they've got a task force just for that purpose.
Super. So those of our listeners within the earshot, again, the whole intent of the conversation this morning was talking about that family dynamic. If mom and dad, let's say, have that giving heart and have done so, or maybe they're just talking about giving for the first time, ensuring that they leave that legacy or that imprint as far as their children are concerned, whether they're minor, whether they're adults, whether they're 40s or 50 years old. And we've got some clunky, as we called them, gifts, cash, stock, real estate. And that's the reason why we come to the table here on Sunday mornings and talk with Brent and Convoy of Hope is if you have a clunky gift like real estate and you're not really sure, it is an investment piece of property, and I, quote unquote, have been told by my CPA, capital gains is not a good thing. And I don't want to hold the piece of property anymore. Yeah. That's where Brent and his team of experts with Convoy of Hope are able to help facilitate some of those quote-unquote technical issues, and help you survive.
Yeah. And we've got a pretty vast team that helps us do just that. It's people in Fresno, and it's people in Florida, and it's people on the East Coast, and we've got a team that is just specifically put together to help people make those real clunky gifts happen. And I like to not only just say, hey, donate the piece of property, we can help you do that, but what is it that you really want to do, and how do you really want to make an impact impact through your heart or what you want to give to, and let me help you strategize on how we're going to make that gift, and not just, here, I'm making a gift of property, but how do we make that gift of property, because it's going to turn into cash, because we don't want the property. Sure. We would rather sell it.
Right.
And that's where Craig and the team come into place. But what is it that you're called to do with that money, and how can we help take a nonprofit to another level because of that gift? Because that gift has the ability to drive leadership to another level too. How can we make the nonprofit more effective? How can we make the gift more effective? How can we make a bigger impact in your family? That's the joy of being able to make those gifts.
So if you'd like, again, some examples of exactly the type of work that Convoy of Hope does, go to convoyofhope.org. You can also go to Vimeo and search Convoy of Hope to see it firsthand. Brent, the best way that our listeners can get a hold of you?
It's my cell phone. My cell phone, give me a call on my cell phone. It's 559-908-9527. 559-908-9527. And also, like Craig said, go to the website. We've got different areas of planned giving. If you want to do some calculations on some of your property, that's all there. You can do a drop down and you'll find planned giving or making a gift, and there'll be some elements there that will help you walk through what it could look like if you made this kind of gift or that kind of gift, or what kind of calculations you're looking at and want, what kind of income you want maybe from the gift, because you have the ability to make a gift and also receive income. Those pieces are on there, or you can give me a call.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks, Greg. It's good to be here.
As always, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions, or a question about Convoy of Hope or the information that we shared with you on the show this morning, give us a call anytime. 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Listen to us right now on your cell phone at kmjnow.com. You can also check out our resources and search for your next home at valleywidesales.com. Well, coming up, Susan from Fresno asked, my husband and I want to purchase a home, and we were told that FHA financing is the only way to go to buy a foreclosure, and that conventional financing was just way too strict. Is that really true? When we return, we're going to take some listener questions. Make sure you stay with us. You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping you to redefine real estate, here on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer, at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
Rick Ransom, a local guy, began his career in mortgage lending in 1989. In 91, he became one of the first reverse mortgage lenders in California. Since that time, he's helped hundreds of seniors with reverse mortgages and other senior-related issues. And he's one of the few in this business who is a CPA.
This is Rick Ransom. Much of what you hear on TV and radio is not altogether true. There is misinformation. A reverse mortgage can help you supplement your retirement, pay off your existing mortgage or credit cards, even purchase a new home. If you're ready for a free face-to-face meeting with someone with 45 years experience in the application process, call me at 221-5355. That's 221-5355. I look forward to meeting with you.
DRE number 513201, NMLS number 240770.
When it comes to investing in wealth management, you can find good counsel from someone at a local office for a Wall Street firm. And if you do well, a main office in New York does well. However, we at Thies & Duker Financial Consulting Group offer a very different choice. Our associates offer Wall Street experience from an independent, local company. We answer to you, not New York. Thies & Duker's owners, associates, and staff members live right here. We're your neighbors.
I'm Tom Morgan, a financial consultant with Thiessen-Duker Financial Consulting Group. I recently joined Thiessen-Duker because I wanted to serve my clients in an independent firm that truly values clients, families, and this community. If that's what you're looking for too, give me a call at 448-8190.
Feel right at home at Thiessen-Duker. Visit us online at thiesenduker.com. THIESENDUEKER.com.
The consultants at Thiessen-Duker are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
All it takes is one call to the professionals at Valleywide Homes, and you'll start building wealth in real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing property, let Craig and his team at Valleywide help. There's never been a better time to get into the real estate market. Start the search for your next home by visiting our website at valleywidesells.com or call toll-free 800-979-3958. That's 800-979-3958, and put the seasoned professionals at Valleywide Homes to work for you.
You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, as we mentioned, we're going to take some listener questions. Well, Sue from Fresno. Sue says, my husband and I went to purchase a home and we're told that FHA financing is the absolute only way that we are able to buy a foreclosure. And part of the reason is because conventional financing is way too strict when it comes time for evaluating the condition of the property. Is that true? Very interesting. Received that phone call this week.
Quick answer?
Quick answer is?
No.
It's so important. So Tim says no, and Tim is exactly right. It's so important that you, number one, evaluate the credit standing of the consumer. So where are you at in terms of credit scores? And that, to a great extent, is going to determine how many options, or are you going to be limited in terms of your options with respect to financing. Secondarily, condition of the property.
And where is the property?
Are you able to secure USDA financing, but you can only do that because the property is located in Kerman or Tranquility? Or let's say you need a 203K loan because this property really needs about $15,000 in repairs.
Or are you a veteran?
Or are you a veteran? And there's
options.
There is options, but it's extremely important to note, don't pigeonhole yourself. It all starts with making sure that you team up with a great mortgage professional like Tim, as an example. Give Tim a call, 559-349-0789.
Thank you.
See, that was an echo in here. Yeah, I like that. That was cute.
Very
Thanks,
cute.
Gigi. Appreciate that. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions about the information that we shared with you on our show, it all starts with one call. Give us a call anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Big thank you to Brent Riffel, Major Donations Director from Convoy of Hope. You can contact Brent directly by giving him a call direct on his cell phone, 559-908-9527. Again, 559-908-9527. Big thank you to Lisa Casa.
Thank you for having me again.
Timmer, thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate you being here.
Always love it.
Johnny B, great job, buddy. Johnny waves bye-bye. Our goal with the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market so we can help bring you back home. Don't forget to tune into the Real Estate Radio Network next Sunday at 9 a.m. on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ. Make it a great day, Central California, and we will see you next week.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info.